Hello everyone, welcome back to my Animation Academy at home. Today I decided to do a drawing in honor of Mulan, whose film was supposed to premiere this Friday, but unfortunately will not happen just yet, so hopefully that will happen soon. When I was practicing this drawing, I was practicing her a little bit more my version, so hopefully you guys like it. So let's get started. So Mulan has a very oval face shape. But we're going to start with the circle, which is going to dictate the top half of her face. So we can go ahead and draw almost perfect circle in the center of our paper. This is sketching. The lines can be light, or should be light. They don't have to be perfect. The bottom half is a little round here, but actually I'm going to make sure that I guide myself with a little flatter bottom right here to help me out. I'm going to mark the half of her face, or the way that she's facing. So make a mark right in the center and then a little off to the left. The one off to the left is the one that we want. So we're going to draw her center line, bring it down past the bottom of the circle just a little bit. And this is going to dictate where her chin is going to go. So that's how we're going to draw her face shape after. So we're going to start with her eyes. Her eyes are going to be a little bit low here, but we need to mark them. Sorry, they're going to be a little bit low right here. So we need to mark where they go. We're not going to draw the center line because she's facing down. So we're going to draw a little bit lower than the center line. We're going to go for it right around here. Depending on your circle, you can figure that one out. So you can probably mark the center and then go right below it. Okay? And her eyes are going to sit right on top of there. Okay. For her right eye, we're going to start in the middle and then draw like a semi-smile. Just like that. Kind of like at an angle here, and then mimic the top for her top lid, just like that. I'm gonna go off the top for her eyelashes, which I'm gonna darken later with my other pencil. Her other eye is gonna be directly across, right in the center of this section here, and then just go for it. Same thing. Mark that smile and then mimic the other side. Just like that. Very beautiful eyes for Mulan. Big, actually. Okay, so we're gonna draw her chin now. Go right to your center line, or off center line, in the corner where it meets her head, and just draw a rounded line that meets that bottom mark for her chin up to that half, and then the same thing for the other side. Draw it upward just like that. And that's her chin. Now we have Mulan's face shape. Okay, for her lips, they're going to sit right under here, under her nose. So let's mark her nose first. So go a little bit off to where the corner of her eye is here. A little bit more toward the center. And we're going to draw what looks like a parentheses for her small nose. Same thing directly across on this side. This one can be a little off, more closer to the center than it is this corner, because remember, she's facing a certain way. So that's going to manipulate the way things look for us. For her lips, this one's a little bit tricky. So we're going to do it in 3 parts. The first one is going to be the top of her lip. And the top of her lip is going to sit right under this bottom line that we drew for that circle. And this side is going to touch that circle, and then this side is not. So go ahead and make a mark from where her corner of her eye is, a little bit angled down, and that's where that corner of her lip is gonna go. And then the other one is gonna fall directly where the corner of her eye is, right about here, just a little bit below this line, almost like a smirk. That's what we're gonna draw. So we're gonna go down a little bit in a straight line and then a curve, just like that. Maybe mark it off a little bit more. And then the next one is gonna be the exact same, but it's gonna go higher and it's gonna be a little bit bigger. This is the side that we're looking at first because she's turned away, so it's bigger. Then we mark the center of her lips, or actually the separation of her lips. This is just gonna be like a V. So it's a straight line down to the center and the same thing down this way. And then the bottom is gonna be a curve. This one's gonna be like a smile. Meet in the center, and then do the same thing here. Okay, we're gonna move on to her eyebrows now. Her eyebrows are gonna be on the top half or top third of her face. And they're gonna sit almost at the very top, but not quite. So we're gonna start with this one here, right directly above where her eyelash would be, and draw a straight line just like that. Almost toward the center, but almost to the center. If you want, you can measure that to the corner of her eye so it lines up, just like that. And then the next one is gonna be right directly above it, and it's gonna meet that. So like a triangle, basically. Once we darken the lines, we are going to curve them. Okay, she has thick eyebrows, so it's gonna start a little bit thicker on this end and then get more narrow toward the center. The same thing on this side. So the same thing directly above her eyes and right across from the other eyebrow. And draw a line there, and then the next one. Almost like geometry here. We're gonna curve them afterwards. And we're not gonna see this end of her eyebrows anyway because her hair covers it. So it doesn't have to be quite perfect. I'm gonna extend it a little bit more. Okay. So we're gonna draw her hair so then we can start darkening some lines afterwards. Her hair is gonna be tucked on one side into her ear, and on the other side it's gonna fall in front of her face and then down her shoulder. So we're gonna start that right next to the corner of her eye, a little bit below, right there. And then just draw a curve that goes straight up. A line that goes straight up, almost curved a little bit. And then you're gonna draw one right across, but kind of follow the curvature of her head a little bit. And just like that. And it's gonna stop a little bit past where the edge of her head is. So if you want, you can mark it, or you can draw a line that kind of guides you. Like that. And then the rest of her hair, her very long hair, is gonna start from that corner, coming straight down like that. But this one's gonna curve out a little and then come in, just like this. Maybe less, for my liking. You can make her hair sway if you'd like. When we darken it, we'll adjust where we want it. Okay, and then for this, we're gonna draw more texture. So it's basically just gonna be like a line, basically. And it's gonna start right at the corner where her center line is, basically, for her face. And then just come down. Just one. Very small, right about halfway here. Okay? And then the part that falls in front of her face is going to be curved. So it's going to start at the center line, right above her face, right above, yeah, her face. And it's going to curve up and then down very quickly. And it's going to meet this part right here when it comes down. Just like that. Okay. So I'm going to start darkening some lines. I'm going to take my green pencil, but you can use whichever one you'd like, the same pencil or another one, and I'm going to give her some structure. So the eyebrows, I had mentioned that they were going to be curved a little. So you can start here and then draw a little bit like a backwards S. So you can curve up and then down here. And then this one, not exactly mimic it, but almost. This one, I'm going to keep it curved straight down, just like this. But it's not going to go all the way into the hair, because remember that hair is in front of the face. And keep it just like that. Okay. So for her neck is going to start a little bit below where the corner of her eye is. I'm sorry, the corner of her lip is. Okay, so a little bit angled down, right around there. We're gonna draw that coming down a little. I'm gonna go with my red first to mark it. And then I'm gonna mark the other side right around here. You can mark that where her nostril is, maybe. And then just come out a little. And then her collar, since she's wearing a very, very beautiful, I would say dress, maybe, or outfit, has a beautiful collar on it that comes down just like this. And then the other side meets it right there. And then we go with that 3D texture here. I'll fix that afterwards. And then her hair comes down this way, but it goes over her shoulder and then it meets it right down here, like that. And then her shoulder comes down a little bit like this. The rest of her hair falls in the back of her back, basically. So we can draw that comes straight down like this as well. So let's go for the dark lines. And then her ear. Let's just show her ear a little bit. So she also has a little hair piece, and it has a flower on it. So she has it behind her hair, and we can kind of see that flower. So we're gonna draw that right on the top of her head, a little bit off to the left. So it's only gonna be a little half piece of that flower, because again, it is behind her hair. So something like that. Nothing too crazy. And then darken those lines. You can color this one if you'd like to, but I'm gonna leave it like that. So now we're done and we can go for shading. I'm gonna start with her hair. Her hair, I'm going to keep it a little bit more rough than a tighter shade, so it could be a little bit more sketch-like. And we're just going to do lines. Go for it just like that. And we're basically done with Mulan. So there we have Mulan. Thank you for joining me, you guys, and let me know what you guys think of the film, if you guys are into it or not. I know I'm very excited, so I'll see you next time. Thanks.